Animals have different ways of bringing life into the world, and they are all amazing. Just like humans, animals too have it rough when giving birth. And what you're about to see represents the most breathtaking and incredible animal births. Number 10. Lioness. If there's one animal that maintains privacy during pregnancy, then it's none other than a lioness. They keep their pregnancy secretive until they are approaching labor, where they sneak from the pride to have a nice secret den in the bushes to deliver. Much as it may sound weird, this strategy helps the lioness to protect her cubs from predators, hence increasing the chances of survival for the cubs. After giving birth and being sure that the little cubs are safe in a secret place, the lioness stays away to let the cubs fend for themselves until they are mature enough to join the pride. Female lions can give birth to cubs all year round, usually from the age of 3 or 4 years old. For each birth, a lioness can deliver up to 3 cubs. The cubs are so adorable and precious, to say the least. Number 9. Red crabs. Red crabs are known to breed in large numbers in the ocean. During their breeding season, millions of red crabs are seen crossing this island, creating one of the most spectacular scenes. It is in the dry season and with the scorching sun that the crabs are in one of the greatest marathons to migrate from deep inside Christmas Island to enter the ocean. And while crossing the roads, some are crushed to death. But thanks to these rangers, who work tirelessly to close roads and create safe pathways for the crabs to follow into the ocean. The crabs descend the cliff onto the beach and then enter the ocean. And once they are in the water, they start mating and spawning thousands of eggs. The female crabs then wait along the island's coastlines for around 2 weeks while the eggs develop. When the eggs are ready, the female crabs will then perch in the water and shake loose the thousands of eggs into the sea, which begin to hatch immediately. The larvae hatch in millions, forming a beautiful reddish cover at the beach. Number 8. Kangaroos. Kangaroos are adorable animals. From jumping around to throwing punches here and there, you can be sure we all have a special part in our hearts for these creatures. But even more interesting is how these animals give birth to young ones. Unlike other young ones of most mammals who are born when fully developed with all the organs, the newborns of kangaroos are highly underdeveloped and embryo-like at birth. And after a gestation period of about 34 days, the jelly bean-sized baby kangaroo emerges from the birth canal of the mother kangaroo. Even though the joey does not have limbs to push itself and eyes to see, it has to struggle to push itself up in the mother's pouch on its stomach. Much as it looks like a skin pocket with no purpose, the pouch is specifically equipped to act as a nursery. The joey, now safe inside the pouch, attaches itself to its mother's teat and continues developing for 6 months. Thereafter, the fully developed baby kangaroo can now jump out of the pouch and join the wild to start fending for itself. Number 7. Giraffe. Giraffes are the world's tallest terrestrial animal, and you can be sure that even their calves are born with extraordinary height compared to calves from other animals. In fact, a newborn giraffe arrives at an average height of about 6 feet tall. Sounds absurd, but not until you realize that an adult giraffe can grow up to 20 feet tall. It is as a result of the calf's extreme height that giraffes experience difficulty when giving birth. The giraffe mum is thus forced to give birth while standing to avoid damaging the baby giraffe's lengthy neck. After undergoing a 15-month gestation period, the calf, which by then weighs about 220 pounds, is slowly pushed out through the mother's birth canal, with head and front legs coming first. The female giraffe, which is now standing with hind legs astride, pushes the calf until it falls on the ground. And even though the calf falls with a huge impact on the ground, that should not worry you, as it helps to automatically cut the umbilical cord. Number 6. Dwarf crocodile. Dwarf crocodiles, like many reptiles, lay eggs, just like birds do. And even though these world's smallest living crocodile species may seem vicious, they are very gentle to their young ones. The dwarf crocodiles do not just lay eggs haphazardly, rather they create mound nests along the edge of water bodies where they lay about 10 eggs. This helps to protect the eggs from predators. The female croc is then forced to watch on the eggs until the entire gestation period of 3 months is over. Thereafter, the baby crocs start to break out of their shell. But it is even amazing to watch how the mummy croc carefully scoops her hatchling young ones from the mount nest where they're not safe into the water using her mouth. She even uses her teeth to help the baby crocs to break open the shell to get them out. Number 5. Python. Snakes have different ways of bringing to life their young ones. Some give birth to live young, while others lay eggs that hatch into baby snakes called snakelets. And a python is one of those snakes that is known to lay as many as 100 eggs in a single clutch, which eventually hatch into baby pythons. But here is the most amazing part of how the female python treats her eggs. She understands just how important each egg is to the general population of pythons in the world. And so, unlike other egg-laying snakes which abandon their eggs, female pythons instead coil around their egg clutch to protect them in a process known as brooding. And the female python is even clever enough to contract her muscles to give warmth to the eggs whenever temperatures drop. And through body movements and contraction, the female python can generate enough heat to help the eggs to hatch in just about 2 months. Number 4. Porcupine. Porcupines are known to defend themselves against predators using their sharp quills, which cover their entire bodies. The large rodents are indeed dangerous considering that each spike contains about 800 tiny barbs at the tip. But you're probably wondering how the mother porcupine can withstand all that pain giving birth. Like most mammals, porcupines give birth to young ones, usually during the spring. The young ones, called porcupets, are usually tiny, weighing around 1 pound. However, even though the porcupets are born with the quills, their quills are not developed and feel like fur rather than spikes as you might want to imagine. But once the quills are exposed to air, they start to harden. Thus, should there be any birth complication where the baby porcupine is born facing the wrong direction, you can be sure it can cause the partially hardened quills to tear the birth canal of the mother. Upon birth, the porcupet stays with the mother for about 6 weeks before they can now fend for themselves. Number 3. Goats. Baby goats are cute and full of energy, and we all love seeing them run around the backyard. But have you stopped to ask the horrendous process that female goats undergo during delivery? These animals have never attended any birthing classes, but it's amazing how they understand exactly what to do when the labor pain steps in. Generally, the gestation period for goats is about 5 months. After that, the female goat enters labor, and the first thing you'll notice is a bubble filled with liquid emerging from their birth canal. This is the amniotic membrane, filled with amniotic fluid. And as the goat continues to push, you'll notice 2 hooves emerging followed by the nose. That is a clear sign of perfect delivery. Once the head is already delivered, it becomes much easier for the rest of the baby goat to be delivered. In fact, you can help ease the delivery process by breaking the amniotic sac once the head starts to appear. Eventually, the baby goat is delivered and falls to the ground. Look at how the mummy goat quickly turns to start cleaning the young one who is still in confusion. Number 2. Elephant. Elephants are among the animals with the longest gestation period and birth interval. In fact, an elephant has a gestation period of about 21 months and a birth interval of about 1 year. A majority of female elephants only have up to 12 calves in their lifetime, so you can be sure the process of making an elephant is a matter of patience. It is no wonder they are on the verge of getting extinct. For each birth, a single calf is produced weighing a whopping 200 pounds. The process of an elephant giving birth is always an experience worth witnessing. When a female elephant approaches labor, she seeks close contact with other females in her family unit for protection during labor. And during labor, the first thing that appears is the amniotic sac that looks like a huge balloon. It is followed by the calf. Upon delivering, the mommy elephant blows and rubs the sac off the young one. She then works in harmony with other supportive elephants to help the young one up on its feet, and sure enough, life begins for the huge calf. Number 1. Kiwi. Kiwi, unlike other birds, are flightless and are native to New Zealand, normally the size of a standard domestic chicken. The New Zealand species of kiwi are considered the largest and lay the largest egg to their body size. In fact, a single egg can occupy about 25% of the mother's body mass, which is equivalent to about 10 standard chicken eggs. That is so huge, causing much stress to the mother's organs. Kiwi's eggs are fertilized and incubated internally, and only produced when the baby kiwi is already mature. The female kiwi is forced to spend about a whole month in their den incubating the enormous egg. And by the time it is almost ready to be produced, it is so huge that the mother doesn't even have space for food. Unlike other birds' eggs, which take less than 50 days to hatch, the kiwi egg takes about 80 days to hatch.